Hello, hello, welcome to Season 5 How to Play D&D, the explainer podcast where one experienced dungeon master and one failed scriptwriter discuss D&D topics. My name is Kinsey and my illustrious guest this week is Abby of Tabletop Curiosities. Hello, Abby.
Hello.
Hello, thank you for coming back on the podcast.
No worries. Very happy to be here.
Well, that's the first person to ever say that, so that must mean something. It's important. Okay, so this season we are doing things slightly different. Our guests have selected an enemy from a list that I've supplied, and I'm saying it 100 miles an hour, and they're going to educate us as to why we should use these creatures, and I, of course, will interrogate, which I never do because I end up falling in love with everyone's creatures. What is this week's creature?
This week we are talking devils.
Let's get to it. Okay, so today's episode is on devils. Not everybody's gay icon from the Powerpuff Girls, arguably the best gay icon. But no, it's the devils in every form in D&D. Abby, if I eat every glue stick in my art class, will I technically have a high natural AC due to the glue solidifying inside of me? What am I doing?
I think you're failing a constitution save on that one.
100%.
It's not going to go well.
I'm still here, and I did 5 years of art. So I've eaten my fair share of glue.
Num num num.
Everyone else was gluing their hands together and peeling it, and I was just there like chomping down. Okay, why did you pick devils?
So in my long-term campaign at the moment, we have gone from a journey in the domains of dread all the way down the layers of the hells. So It's very relevant for me at the moment, and I've been learning about all the different type of devils that are in the D&D world.
Nice. There is a huge variety. It's not one kind of enemy, right? Which is great to play with because you've got like a whole world you can make from that.
Yeah, absolutely. And like they don't always have to be in the Hells setting only.
Yeah.
You know, devils are something in the planes of D&D that move and come to the material plane and try and like wind up mortals and try and get them
Mess
to
it
come
up.
to Hells eventually.
Yeah. A lot of patrons as well, right? A lot of patrons can be
Yes.
devils. There's a lot of lore and a lot of story that we can get into. We'll get into it with another question in a minute. What kind of stats does a devil have? And I'm guessing there's such a huge variety, but like, are there like typical devils like players will come across or DMs might use?
Yeah, so you've got a hierarchy when it comes to the devils.
Okay.
And it's something I really love about it as well, because it's got like almost a corporate feel to it. That
Right. Well,
there's
I mean, that's probably what the government's based on, the devils in D&D.
That's it. That's it. I mean, there is a real corporate structure. There's like promotion mechanics for devils to like get through
Incredible.
the different structures. So you have the big boy. You've got Asmodeus himself, the ruler. It's
Mm.
not even worth discussing his stats. They're ridiculous. Don't fight him. Just don't.
God
Just don't
tier.
do
God
anything
tier.
like
Yeah.
that. Yeah. But then you've got the archdevils. They're like the lords of each layer of the hells, as well as like dukes, duchesses. Again, godlike level stats,
Yeah.
but at least maybe a high level party could maybe have an encounter that is combat with them. I would
Mm.
still suggest RP would probably be the best way to go
Yeah. Yeah.
there. They usually have some kind of like symbol of power, like a magical item or something. So we did manage to do like a heist situation. So not a
Very
fight,
good.
but theft, which was quite fun, and like dethroned an archdevil. So there's things that can be done there, but I would still come down the hierarchy a little bit for
Mm.
most encounters. You've
I've,
got greater devils underneath them,
oh, okay.
which they're a more likely thing that you're going to come across.
Mm.
The biggest bad of it is a pit fiend. That's your classic, like, picture a devil and it's a pit fiend.
Mm.
Big red winged guy, horns, fangs, but the stats are still major. This would be a major fight. One-on-one combat, definitely not. Your whole
Oh,
party
okay.
would need to pepper this guy. Like, we're talking challenge rate in 20.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. Fair enough. Oh,
Yeah,
so
so
like
that
the rating of the others must be in. You're going to have to be like level 20 yourself.
Yeah, really. The party I'm running with at the moment, they are level 16. We've never been this high before.
Mm.
It's pretty out of hand, to be honest. I'd
Yeah,
say to
yeah.
anyone listening, approach with caution when it
Okay.
comes to those kind of levels because it is insane and they think they're gods. So
Yeah.
it's big. But a pit thing can still even be a challenge at that level.
Right.
Um, they've got all sorts of things, a fear aura, some spell casting, magic resistance, poison bites, and just major weapon attacks. So
Mm.
it could be a big bad in your campaign. You don't even need to go above Greater Devils. That could be your big bad for sure.
Nice. And do we have like so low level devils? Oh, actually, no, we'll skip that bit because actually I want to go into what you just said a minute ago. The next question would be how does a DM use devils in their game? Now, obviously, you're using them and it's kind of themed around the world, but you touched on a really good thing there, which I think you could do in arguably most scenarios in D&D where it doesn't always have to be combat. RP can be the battle. So I like the idea of like the theft rather than the fight, which is a great way of like you don't have to take down a god. It's not always expected to, you know. How do you go about that when you're writing these sessions then? It ends up becoming this is more of like a question for you in your campaign, but how do you go about when players are such a high level? That they think they can take things down, and then you've got things like this, even as a greater devil that is combat in itself.
Well, without the pun being too on the nose, you'd be devil's advocate.
Yeah,
You
yeah, okay,
you let them play that out and have those moments and have those thoughts, and then introduce them to this severe power and
yeah,
give them something to show them. No, you're going to have to think about this a little bit more. You could still fight, you could steal their weapons, whatever, but it's not just going to be, we're going to march in there and have them. It's just
yeah.
not going to be that simple. You need to do a bit of recce, find more out about them, maybe find a
Mm.
weakness, find some allies in the hells, and play the politics of the hells just a scooch.
I think that's like a really good answer as well because I think if like a good DM with those kind of creatures, a bit like vampires, where it's something you expect there to be a lot of RP with it. And if you're a good DM, each of these creatures you come across, like you said, the politics of it are gonna have personalities. Like they're in this hierarchy for a reason. They've proven something. They've got a personality. They've got lore. They've got backstory, and there's always kind of like weaknesses, like pros and cons to how you approach each thing. At least from my experience with the Devils, I think a lot of people listening to this could like think about that as a DM or as a player that like it's not always a fight, or at least make it not a two-dimensional character.
Yeah, absolutely. And that really applies for any setting that you're playing. Your team's not going to turn up and say, right, we're going to go and kill the king immediately. You need to find the lay of the land and play the game. So it's devils are even better because you've just got so much to play with. They are
Mm,
literal devils. They want to torment the party, they want to lie, they want to corrupt them. And yeah, the greater devils are massive foes, but even the lesser devils have so much flavor that you
mm.
can mess around with and just really, really upset everybody. And that's the
Yeah.
sort of D I love.
I like, well, yeah, 100%. If you can get people kind of like boiled up and they're really, now they're not there to just play the session, they're there to really fucking stop the person who's like being difficult. Do you know what I mean? Like, we've got that in my campaign where we have Volo. I just play Volo as he is. He's very like camp, kind of Florence based guy. And one of the players in my session absolutely hates how happy Volo is. Like, you know, how he's just so exuberant and there and he's offering to help, but like, for a cost of something. He's a bit of a wheeler dealer, and they absolutely hate that. And so you just keep bringing him back. Like if you can get people who come back just to stop Volo, amazing. Do you know what I mean?
That's
So
it. They've got their
yeah,
whole own vendetta now that the
yeah,
combat doesn't just mean we need to survive. It means I want this devil dead.
yeah, 100%, 100%. Oh, I was gonna say, could you give me an example of when you used or encountered one? Have you encountered one outside of you DMing them?
Um, I think I have in terms of imps. I
Right.
think
Okay.
imps are probably your most common. So
Yeah.
they're in
Yeah.
like a lesser devil, right at the bottom of the hierarchy.
Yes.
Um, but they're quite fun. So they get sent to the material plane by devils in
Mm.
order to earn a promotion.
Okay.
They've
Yeah.
they've got the kind of stats where they're like sneaky little cheekies. So
Yeah, yeah,
they can like pretend to be a rat or a spider and like polymorph as normal material plane guys. And then, can make deals and try and lure you into bad stuff. So
yeah.
I have encountered one there. Unfortunately, I was probably already too wise to it, so I probably didn't role play it as
Yeah,
innocently as I should. I was just like, I know your game. I'm not falling for
you're
it.
too kind. No DM has a good NPC. Like no such thing as a nice NPC who wants nothing.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they're good. The little lackeys. There's so much personality and flavor, like you said earlier. With that hierarchy, it's such a. I mean, it's a manual in itself. It could be, like the variety of enemies, what they do, and then the hierarchy of it is so great to use. So I can totally see how like a whole campaign could be based around it. Um,
Definitely.
so the last question then: what's your least favorite enemy in D&D, or recently, should I say?
It's tough. It's a tough one. Especially because I am just such a positive. Like I just love
Yeah.
everything.
Well, do you know
Yeah,
what?
just
Sam
love it.
Pay, we recorded a couple of episodes yesterday, and he refuses that there's bad enemies and ones that annoy him. So he actually was giving the listeners enemies he loves. So not a breakdown,
Oh,
just like this enemy's great because of this. So maybe go with that. Maybe go with that.
yeah, okay. So I think maybe there's a middle ground because
Okay.
there are enemies out there that aren't necessarily enemies and like they're
Yeah.
in the monster manual and things, but actually like there's so much more that could be
Mm.
done with them.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
think devils themselves fall into that category. So
Yes.
you could make it the worst NPC ever. You could make it as like, oh, we're just gonna have this really brutal fight, but really, if you spent a few sessions and built up the world a little bit, then they become the great enemies as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh no. So okay. That was a very positive a positive look on that question that is arguably very negative. So yeah,
Yeah.
very much.
Yeah.
Well, once again, a nice little episode here. So today's adventure is slightly coming to a close. We're back in next week with a topic: do identical twins have the same fingerprints? And as always, thank you for tuning in. And if you'd like to join in on the D&D action, then please follow us on Instagram at How to Play D&D or check out the link in our bio. Join our Discord server. Abby, where can we find you?
So on Instagram and TikTok at tabletop curiosities, as well as the Etsy store for all your dice needs.
Absolutely incredible dice. So please do check it out, and we'll have those links in the bio as well. I've been Connor Kinsey.
I've been Abby from Tabletop Curiosities.
Good day.